All right. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Hope y'all feeling all right. I'm in here getting things ready, trying to get it going. It's another Tuesday, and I am happy. I'm happy to be here on this side. On this side of life. You know, I feel blessed. There's somebody who didn't wake up this morning. There's somebody who didn't wake up this morning. There's someone who transitioned. And I don't know necessarily that we want to be in a funk. We can't tell people how to feel about it, but we do know that transition in life, it is the completion of life. And that's not to make anybody feel a particular way, but it's definitely a part of it. So let's be grateful and let's be there for people who are dealing with some difficult times, people who are dealing with someone who has transitioned. Condolences to each and every one of you. Condolences, want to do that because I saw some people online this morning when I checked in on the book. I realized that a couple people lost some people who were close to them. And so we just want to send out some love, put some love in the air, some good vibrations in the air because they're going through a difficult time. They're going through a time right now. So let's do that. Happy Tuesday again to everybody who is at the sound of my voice. I hope that you can hear me. If you can hear me, come on in here and tell me where you're from. Comment where y'all are from, where you're listening from. Today is Talk It Out Tuesday, and I'm asking the question here. Asking the question, what are the options? What are the options with love and relationships? And then last Tuesday, we talked about politics, and we said we were going to have a certain Tuesday that we do that. And so we're going to make that the last Tuesday. So we're going to hit a little bit on politics as well today. All right. So, what are the options? What are our options in love? What are our options in politics? We're going to do a little bit of both of that. Get in here and comment where you're from. I see some eyeballs in here. So go ahead and let us know where you're listening from, where you're watching from. Hit that like and subscribe button. Go ahead and do that. Keep the Faith with Tori is on YouTube. Make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you subscribe. I'm Miss Tonya, right? I am Miss Tonya. And you know where to find me. Let me show you. It is Talk It Out Tuesday again, but you can find me on Miss Tonya TV. All right. I'm in these internet streets. I tell you what, I want to get into the conversation. But before I get into the conversation, what I want to do is what we always do. We take a little bit of time, we do a little bit of breath work. So I'll go ahead and get into it. I'm not hearing myself. I hope you guys are hearing me. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. I don't know what's going on. I'm not hearing myself for some reason. And my voice is a little off today too. So I'm going to work with it. Y'all work with me. I'm going to work with it. Let's go ahead and do what we need to do so that we can get into our conversation. What I want you to do is inhale to the count of 4. And we're going to hold it for a few seconds. And then we're going to exhale. And we'll hold that for seconds. And we'll repeat that a few times. Now, you can close your eyes if you're in a place that you can do that. And I want you to do that if you're driving. Don't do that if you're driving. Don't do that if you're actually sitting at the desk. If you got your head pod on and you're taking a listen, we'll vibrate with us and listen. But if you can close your eyes, close your eyes. I want to take it a step further. Put your hands over your heart and feel that you are alive. That's you. Let's get into it. Inhale to the count of 4. Hold that a few seconds. Exhale. Hold that a few seconds. Inhale again. Hold that a few seconds. Exhale. One more time. Let's inhale. Hold it a few seconds. And exhale. Yeah. Didn't it feel great? I hope you took this time for yourself. Hope you feel good. If someone kinda got you in a little funk, I hope that kinda helped recenter you so that you can direct the energy that you wanna have. I hope you do that. Welcome to Talk It Out Tuesday. This is the podcast where we talk it out. Tori and I have conversations. Every Tuesday, we have in-depth conversations on the latest hot topics, personal growth, and some of the life's most challenging questions, whether you are here for the laughs, you're here for the advice, or the community. We promise to keep it real and we promise to keep it insightful. Um, Today, we're going to talk about what are the options? What are the options? So many people are staying single so much longer now. So, what are the options in love and politics? We'll be sharing our thoughts, personal stories, and answering your questions. So, don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and make sure that you don't miss an episode. I want you to get in here and I want you to share your thoughts in the comments and in the chat below because we love hearing from you. And most importantly, you drive and direct this conversation. So, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to get Tori in here and Tori, tell the people hello.
What's up, everyone? It is Tuesday once again. Y'all, I look forward to Tuesdays. So how are you guys doing? Let us know where you're tuning in from. I see LaShonda's in the building. Tynico is in the building. What's up, ladies? So glad to have you. Lindsay is in the building. What's up, Lindsay? I'm so glad to have you guys. I'm ready for this conversation. The options. What options do we have when it comes to love? And politics. What are the options? So many options. What's up, Isaac? How you doing?
I think Isaac kind of sparked, a part of the conversation that I know that you want to have because, you sent me I responded actually when he made the post. I responded to it as well, but you sent it to me. You was like, "Hey, let's touch on this a little bit," you know.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna do that because we got to talk about what people are doing out here in these internet streets. You know that
Absolutely.
got to do that
Absolutely.
for the people. Um, so I tell you what, this is so it's almost like our topic today is polar opposites. It really is, but we tend to do that. We can start somewhere, we end up somewhere else. But we get it.
Mhm.
We get to do that. And for some reason, the people who come in here and share with us, they like to do that too, you know?
Absolutely.
They do.
Absolutely.
But I tell you something, I was wondering, I asked the question because I noticed like a lot of people are staying single a whole lot longer now, you know? And I'm wondering, like, are they doing that by choice? Are they staying single because that is an option, that is something that they choose to do? I don't know. So I want us to talk about it. I want people to get in here and tell us why are so many people staying single so much longer, and particularly this younger generation. So I'm questioning that. I want us to explore the complexities of love in today's dating climate. Why are people choosing to be single? Or are they? What's your thought?
Hmm. Are we choosing to be single? Me personally, I don't want to be single, but the options these days. People are still playing. There are people that are in their late 40s and 50s that still want to play games. And I just don't have the time. And then I'm noticing that there are a lot of men that I encounter that have that toxic, narcissistic energy. And I ain't with it.
What when you say that, we throw that word around a lot now.
Yeah. Yeah.
People are so quick to call people a narcissist. And I don't know,
Mhm.
I think maybe all of us have a little bit of that trait, but you did say toxic. So I do
Mhm.
want to bring awareness to that. What is that? Why are we using that more? Or are we just noticing these traits more? Where is that coming from?
I'm noticing it more, and I'm noticing it more, especially in friendships. This past week, I've realized that there's some friends that I needed to disconnect from, and I'm noticing it more in friendships. 'Cause, like, I'm not currently dating right now, but it's even in friendships as well. Like, I do not like one-sided friendships. And this past week has been a struggle, because I try to always see the best in everyone, but I'm realizing that I've been holding on to people that's just constantly hurting me. And I just like, Tori, it's time to let it go. So yeah, it's been a struggle this week.
I got you. I
But yeah,
got you. You're
but
right. I mean, you're right. You know, a lot of the times we put all of our relationship thoughts into that
mhm,
romantic basket, but
mhm,
certainly there are so many other relationships that we have in life. So I'm glad that you said that. I don't want that type of behavior in my friend relationships because I'm not here for it. I'm not with the shits. you know?
right,
But,
right,
I feel like there's several reasons that people probably choose to remain single, and I see some people who are chiming in now in the comments, but I do feel like for myself personally, um, it's about personal growth and independence.
right,
I've chose to take some time to prioritize my own personal growth. At every
right,
stage in your life, you wanna learn more. Like, every time I get an opportunity to wake up and I realize that I'm alive, I'm grateful, but I also wanna Imma continue to learn. I'm a life student. If I have the opportunity, I wanna learn something, and I also wanna look at myself, you know? I wanna look at
right,
myself, I wanna grow, I wanna be a little bit better than I was yesterday. So, for me, I'm in a space of just personal growth, and I don't think that allows me the type of time and attention that would be fair to a person if I was gonna be in a
right,
relationship with them, because I would definitely want to put priority on that. So, I kinda see being single as an opportunity for me to focus on myself, to focus on some of my goals, and I'm enjoying my own company, Tori.
right, right.
Yeah, yeah, I gotta tell you that.
And Isaac says, yes, people are choosing to be single because people aren't genuine anymore. The internet have told people what's important rather than finding what's important to you on your own. Quite frankly, money has become the main thing and someone having to do something for you to show you. And usually that's been with money lately. You know what? I'm glad Isaac said that because there is a gentleman that I met over a couple of weeks, and he flat out said, "Listen, I'm not looking for love. I'm looking for help." And I was like, "What?"
Wait a
He's
minute.
he's not looking for love. He's looking for help. Like,
So a man just straight out, flat out told you in the beginning
yeah,
that that's what he was.
yeah. I ain't looking for love. I'm looking for help. I'm like, what?
That makes me ask the question, like, how do you decide the person that you're gonna approach and feel like, "Okay, well, this is the person to help me." Like, uh, wow. Wow,
Yeah.
well, I tell you what, at least he made it easy for you. Hey, float on.
Right. Peace. Chuck up the deuces real fast. Go back to 1208 Ty. Yeah. Ty says a lot of people have yet to find themselves, let alone that person they desire. And that is a problem as well. People are still finding themselves. And some of the people that I have encountered, I noticed that like you said, when you're single, you're able to work on yourself, you're able to do the necessary healing for yourself. And some of the people that I encounter as well, you realize that you are further along on your healing journey than they are. Some people you realize, listen, you got some more healing to do. And that and that helps me a lot of times with eliminating people as well. And like I said, that's as it relates to friendships as well. There are some friends that they deflect their insecurities and things they have going on onto you.
Mhm.
Like I had a friend tell me that I was the things that they were telling me that I was doing to them, they were actually describing the very thing that they were doing to me. And I'm like, what? Are you serious? I'm
Oh
like,
my
okay.
goodness.
It was, let me tell you something. Past couple of weeks has been very draining for me, to say the least.
Listen, I hear you.
Made me want to just keep my phone in airplane mode and do not disturb.
Mhm. I got you. I mean, I like what Tyler said here as well. Some people just haven't found that person that they desire.
Yeah.
And Tyler, I gotta ask you a question. I mean, you did a little something over the weekend. I wonder if can I say something about it? Can I put your
Mm.
can I put your business out here? Just give me a yeah, cause I got something to say. I'm excited. Okay.
Okay.
I see Lindsay in here.
And Lindsay says it's important to set up healthy boundaries. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. So let me ask y'all this question. Okay. And then Isaac says money gets you in a relationship, not you.
Ooh, we'll put a pin in, I'm gonna star that. We're gonna come back to that because you were about to say something
um,
about the healthy boundaries that Lindsay talking about.
yeah, okay. So when you're setting up boundaries, okay, of course, I've said this time and time again. Like if you have friends, family, or whoever that may be draining to you, and you're setting up boundaries, you may not answer every call, you may not answer every text. But how do you guys feel when it comes to friendship? Say that you are accessible to them all the time, because I'm that friend. If you call me like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, I may be sleeping, but if you need to talk,
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna. No, I'm just saying, Tanya, I'm that friend. If you need to talk 2 or 3 o'clock, I'm gonna get up. I'm just that friend. I'm accessible. But how do you feel if you are always available, always accessible to people, but they limit your access to them? Let me give you the give me. Let me say specifically, like say I am accessible to someone, but I can only talk to them when they call me. Meaning I'm blocked. Let's just put it out there. I'm blocked. So I can't have access to them,
Girl,
but they can talk to me anytime. So how do you guys
listen,
feel about that? That one-sided thing.
listen. It sounds like to me that you set yourself up.
I did.
Yes, because why are you waking up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning to answer, to just be that open for someone, and particularly if they're not, they're not reciprocating that. I don't understand that. And I also have certain telephone rings.
Mhm.
So, I have certain rings for persons who are key important, like my mother, like my children.
Mm.
Whereas if I hear that specific ring, I know that who is coming from without even looking at my phone. So if I was to hear that ring at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, then I
Mhm.
know that it is of an urgency, because people who know me know very well that I'm not a huge telephone talker anyway.
Mhm.
And also at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, your girl is asleep. For real, for real.
Yeah.
Like I set those boundaries. So I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it's you. You do that. You've done that to yourself. So you've got to ask yourself, why am I making myself available for that? You know?
Okay. So I'm doing it to myself. Okay.
I don't know.
Mm.
Y'all come in. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just talking about for me. I'm not the one. I-
Yeah.
I'm not the one.
And hey Chanela, she says hello. And then Ty says the right person will fit into your life exactly the way you need them. It is simply another piece to your puzzle. And
Let me say something here since we're
okay,
back on Tyler.
okay.
We gotta give some congratulations to Tyler. He got engaged over the weekend.
Woo! Yay! Congratulations, Ty!
Yeah. Brr, 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 brr,
Oh, that is
brr.
awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. Definitely understand.
Celebrating
That's right. Well,
love.
since you put that out there, I need to have Tyler on the show because I've been actually working on brainstorming for the past couple of months. I couldn't find any available men, but I wanted to have men on the show that actually still believe in marriage because
Mhm.
I've encountered men that don't believe in marriage, and there's men that marriage is not my thing. They feel like it's a contra. It's like feel like it's life has to stop because they get married. So I'm interested in talking to men that still believe in love and still believe in marriage. I would look. I'm so happy to hear that.
I am too, but that is a good conversation, but it also leads us back to, I put a star on Isaac's comment here
Hmm. He
where he
said,
says, "Go
money
ahead."
gets you in a relationship, not you."
And unfortunately, I feel like a lot of young people, and particularly young males, feel
Mhm.
that way. You've seen it all over the internet. As soon as we think that it's dying down and it is quieting down and they're moving forward, it seems to rear its head again. But
Mhm.
unfortunately, I just feel like they're meeting the wrong women. You know, they're just in the
Right.
wrong. I don't want to say the wrong place, but they're just not meeting that one for them.
And Tina was saying, "Oh my," I forgot what she was saying. "Oh my," too.
I
Maybe
don't know.
what I said, because women out there has done that for him, so he thinks it's a standard. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. She was saying, "Oh my," because I was saying that the guy said that he doesn't want love. He wants money. He wants
Right,
help, and I'm
right.
like, what? And Reggie said, "Hey, Reggie." Reggie says, "Come on, family. Not everyone is crazy. If people consider themselves great people, there are definitely other great people out here, just as awesome as we are. Being closed off doesn't open up the door to mate happiness, just a viewpoint." Thank you so much for that, Reggie. I
Well,
agree.
you done gave a whole word, Reggie. How you doing? Reggie down there in ATL. Hope you're doing good on this Tuesday. Come on, Tyler.
And Tyler says, for a man, this is definitely about 75% of the deal.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Okay.
And Tainiko says, I think as singles, we didn't have a plan for our relationship. The internet has caused people to set unhealthy expectations rather than doing the work it takes to cultivate relationships. We just chose to be alone. Hmm.
Now she's saying something here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. You right,
Yeah.
girl. You right. You right. I don't put thank you, Tyler, for telling me that I could put your stuff out there. He said, "Yes, ma'am, my life is an open book. Some people just don't like to read." Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh.
Ooh.
Bam.
I got to give you some snaps on that poet.
Right.
You just touched my soul. And
Right.
apparently Tori's as well.
Right. Bam. That's the problem. People don't like to read.
That's the problem.
Oh my goodness. And Isaac says, Ty Davis, congratulations, bro.
Mhm, mhm.
And
Come on, Isaac. Isaac
and
is saying what I feel.
he said, nope, don't call me, call your mama.
Because if it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you got that kind of emergency, you need
God
somebody
is
else besides me if it ain't that special ring that I told y'all about.
yeah. And Taniko says, I'm not accessible to my friends all the times. They would be blocked too.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
not a bad
And see,
thing.
that's the thing.
Tori, you gotta
Yeah.
stop thinking that that's a bad thing. I don't know why it is that you feel that you have to make yourself available to people like that. Because as you can see in the comments that people are kinda agreeing that that's not necessarily healthy boundaries for yourself, you know? It
And
really isn't.
Lindsay said, can't do it. And then Isaac says, then what you want to talk to them for? I just, mm, y'all got me rethinking life right now.
Hmm, that's why I'm not saying nothing. I'm letting you
Oh,
concentrate on that little something, something.
and Tina says, look what Tina says. Tina says, that is not your friends.
Exactly. Because my
Mm,
friends know not to call me at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. Serious.
mm,
They what get your life.
mm.
There is absolutely nothing we have to discuss at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning if we not together. You dig?
Yeah.
You dig?
And Ty says, to be honest, I don't think anyone who isn't financially stable should be focusing on a relationship, but what works for some might not work for others.
Mm.
Mm,
Come
mm, mm, mm,
step on up to the front of the class if y'all need to pay attention a little bit more. Come on
mm,
up here and
mm,
get these
mm.
lessons.
Right, right. And Lashonda says, I never like unilateral agreements, relationships, or contracts. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Mhm.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
listen, I understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
People, once again, you have to set those healthy boundaries. It is a relationship, and if or a friend, a friendship is a relationship. So, you've gotten to know this person. This person has gotten to know you. And if you don't have that special ring,
Yeah.
voicemail, it gonna wait till in the morning till I can really, really do something. I can't even think at that time.
Well, see, for me, Uh, I'm usually a night owl. I'm up
Mhm.
around that time. I usually have a hard time sleeping, so I don't always go to bed. So that's why people call me late at night. And I said, "You're right. Why keep setting yourself up for disappointment?" This
Mhm.
is true. This is true.
I wanna put all these congratulations that Tyler is getting as well.
And Lindsay says, "Congratulations."
On the engagement, he's getting
Yeah.
married.
Yes. And Lashana says, "Congratulations, Ty." Taniko says, "Congratulations."
Mhm. I see we got Amina in the house. How you doing, lady?
What's up, Amina?
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Listen,
And
we need to put up that we need to get in these internet streets a little something. We've been
okay.
talking. Let's get in these internet streets.
Right. And Isaac posted this. This was something I wanted to mention. I said, this is going to be a good topic. Let's talk about this. He says, having been in a healthy relationship really taught me there's no such thing as that's just the way I am. When you truly love someone, you work on those toxic traits. You learn to communicate. You actively listen to each other's thoughts and feelings. You adjust, grow, and heal together. All relationships have one law: never make the one you love feel alone, especially when you're there. Mm, mm, mm. I hate the term, that's just the way I am. Because when people tell me, whether it's family, whether it's romantic or whatever, when people tell me, well, Tori, you're doing this, I don't like this, I personally make adjustments. Like, for example, my brother told me one time we would be on the phone. He was like, Tori, I'm tired of you. Every time I'm trying to say something, you're talking over me. So I worked on listening to him finishing his thought and then I would speak. But I had a problem with just talking over him. I had a problem with like people tell me, with Tori, different things. If you tell me something that's bothering you, I make the adjustments. And I'm heavy on reciprocity. So if you're telling me things that I do and I make the adjustment, and I tell you things that you do and you don't make the adjustment, that's what I consider like one-sided relationship, whether it romantic, family, whatever. If I'm making adjustments, then shouldn't you make the adjustment as well?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, because a relationship is definitely, it's a reciprocal. You've got to do that. Otherwise, it's not that. And then that tells you what you need to do as well. You need to move on. You definitely need to move
Right.
on. I see we got Craig Boti in the house with us. How you doing, man? Good to have you here on a Tuesday.
What up, Craig? He says there's no blueprints, but I can tell you can't or not willing But I can tell if you can't or not willing to do the self care and mental work. The minute I started realizing I was the problem, I worked on not being the problem. Ooh, I like that.
You
When he
understand
realized,
me.
yeah, I like that. Self awareness is very important. The minute I started realizing I was the problem, I worked on not being the problem. That, yeah. Mm. And he said, "That's real talk." Absolutely. I love that. And that's the thing. Some people do not realize when they are the problem. They're telling you you're the problem when they're the problem.
Do you think that they don't realize it or they just don't care? Because at the top of the conversation, you were talking about people who have that narcissistic trait
Mhm.
and the toxic, you know,
Mhm.
with it being toxic. So to me, that's exactly what this sounds like. They don't care.
Yeah.
And if you're not setting the proper boundaries for yourself, you're putting yourself in a situation to be taken advantage of by these type of people. And they certainly are going to do that. That's what they
Right.
do, you know?
Right.
So
I know for a fact that some of them know what they're doing, but
mhm.
they make the choice to deflect and put it on you, and they play the victim role.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So
absolutely.
so a lot of them know what they're doing. They
Yeah.
just make the choice to play the victim, and instead of looking at the mirror what they're doing, they tell you that it's you that's doing it, but they're actually the person that's doing it. So yeah.
All right. We are talking about why more people are choosing to stay single. And some people may be choosing and some people may not be choosing it. We've talked about personal growth, we talked about independence. I feel like for some people it could be their career. People
Mhm.
there are people out here who are committed to their careers and their ambition. So they're choosing to be single because they are fully dedicating that time and dedicating all of their energy on their professional pursuits. And I can't say that that is a bad thing. You know, they don't want the responsibilities of a relationship, and you've got to
Right.
respect that. And I feel like another thing, past experiences. We all know it to be true. A lot of people, have that they're still holding on to some of those past experiences, some of that negative energy, negative experiences, and it's heartbreak. It's hard. They feel betrayed. And we got to be honest about that. A lot of the times we're in relationships and they end, and we don't just say, like, like we're feeling the heartbreak, but we
Right.
don't even admit it. Like, we won't even use the word. Like, that is heartbreak, and it's okay. You've gotta admit it, and you've gotta face that if your intention is to heal.
Right.
So
Right.
I feel like
Right.
that leads a lot of people to stay single because they're trying to protect themselves, you know?
Yeah.
Um, and what about those people who just want their freedom? They just want their freedom, they just want flexibility, being single for them is what they want. They're not trying to compromise it, they don't want a partner, they're not looking for a partner, they just wanna get out here, they wanna travel, they wanna do what they do. Um, you gotta respect that too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You gotta respect that too. We've had a lot of comments in here where people were talking about the financial part of it. That is a
Yeah.
part,
Yeah, it is.
so there's
And
a lot of
speaking
reasons. Go
And
ahead.
speaking of the financial part of relationships, back to what Isaac was saying, that money will get you relationships, not you. I don't like how the internet throws around the term high value man, high value woman. And I think that's why it's more focused on money now. It's not,
Mhm.
it's, you don't, I mean, you don't, it's like to me, people don't look for things like someone who's caring, someone who's understanding, someone who's they don't look for things like that. They're looking for what you driving, how much money you made, where you work, what do you do? I'm like, what? I mean, I don't care about I'm a very frugal person. I like the simple things. Like you remember when we had a conversation a while back about the dating places to go on a first date. I'm like, I'm not you could take me on a picnic. Like I'm
Mhm.
very frugal. I don't money and cars and stuff don't impress me. So I think that's probably why I don't know, but one of my friends said that's probably why because you're so simple, you're so frugal. That's probably why you don't, you're single, but I
Mhm.
mean, I would think that people would appreciate someone that's frugal, that's not caught up in the, you know what I'm saying? Because like
Right.
there's one person wanted to buy me a bag, like a
A
purse, and
designer bag?
Yeah, a design. Yeah, that's the word. The design. See, that's how you know I'm not into that stuff. A designer bag, yes, an MK bag or something. And
Mhm.
I'm like, you could get me a purse from Walmart,
Walmart.
and I'm happy. As long as it's holding the money, my change, I'm good. I'm not into all of that fancy stuff. And that's just me. And they made the comment, well, Tori, you can have the finer things. And I said, I can get something nice from Walmart. I
True.
mean, but it doesn't have to be designer. So I'm not into that. And I know I lost some friends when it came to the money thing because they felt like I should go for the men that had the fancy cars, the money, and because I've had people to approach me that were CEOs, but you know what turned me off was how they treated people that could not, how they treated people like I went out with one in particular, and I did not like how he treated the hostess. I did not like how he talked to the waiters. I mean, do you realize these people fixing our food? They could do something to our food by how you're treating them. I didn't like how you making all this money, but you didn't want to leave them a tip. We got top tier service, and you
Mm.
didn't want to leave a tip. I pay attention to stuff like that. So, like I said, the money, the cars don't impress me. It's all I pay attention to how you treat people.
Right.
If you treat people ugly, I don't want no parts of that at all.
You gotta treat people well. You
Yeah.
gotta treat people well. So I understand that, but um I don't know. People out here are staying single. Young people are staying single longer. I do feel like the internet is a part of it. I feel like
Mhm.
they're listening to the conversations and getting involved with just some of the things that are I don't want to say bad. What am I looking for here? I just feel like
Misleading.
yeah, you can't pay attention to all of that stuff. Get out here in the real world. Get out here and get offline a little bit. I mean, we're living in these times where we have this technology, and I certainly like it. I mean, we're using it right now. I love it. I feel like we're supposed to integrate it into our life, but not let it take over our lives. Use it, but
Right.
step away. Get out here and get in a room with people. Feel the energy of people, look in people's eyes. I just feel like you need to give yourself an opportunity to do that. All right. I see Precious Pearl done came into the house with us. How you doing, Precious Pearl?
What's up, Precious Pearl? She says, tuning in late. Why stay single? If you ain't trying to get hurt or put in the kind of work that previous relationships cost, freedom to be selfish. Hmm.
She done broke it all down. She
Did
summed it all up. She said she was late, but everything that we talked about, she just
yeah.
summed it up.
Yeah,
Right?
basically.
So
Yeah,
I feel
she
like
did.
we can go ahead and move on into the next topic because we last week we talked about politics. How did you feel about that conversation last week?
That conversation went very well.
Mhm.
It went very well. I definitely enjoyed the conversation because I was nervous about it because I'm one of those people. I don't get too deep into politics because I don't like arguing with folks. But sometimes when I talk about politics, it turns into an argument. So, but I really
Yeah.
enjoyed the discussion last year. It was really, really good.
Yeah, because we were trying to change that mindset of people saying that we shouldn't talk about religion and politics. And I think that's absolutely not a good idea. I think
Hmm.
that we should be able to talk about politics. We need to understand what's going on in and around our communities, in our world. You gotta talk about it, all right?
Right.
What you know what? Let me ask this question. Since we were
Isaac.
talking
I'm telling Isaac, I'm looking at Isaac comment. He said, okay, I'm like, Isaac, I need you to stay. I need you to stay.
let I that he ca we can't have people, his lunch break might be over. We need people to go ahead and, get your coin. You understand? We don't want it to be like, "You about to lose your job. You better get" uh-uh. You can hit that replay. Always good having you in the house when you're in here with us, Isaac, so that's all good.
Yeah.
But yeah, we certainly have to. And Isaac is definitely on the political scene, so we know that. So that's probably why you were asking him to stay. But
Yeah.
what I was going to ask is this: since we were talking about why people are staying single and kind of talking about relationships a little bit, and we're about to have our Politics Tuesdays. The reason why we're having Politics Tuesdays is because we are going to definitely talk about politics. Whatever it is that you guys want to talk about, you get in the comments and do the very same things that you always do. Ask your questions, put your comments out there, and we'll get into it. We'll dive into it. But since we were talking about our personal lives, since we were talking about relationships, let me ask this. How does politics make a difference, or should I say, affect your relationships and who you're dating or your dating choices? Does it play a role? Does it? How do politics make a difference
Mm.
or affect your relationships? So I'm asking, like, can you date someone who has different political beliefs than you? Will their political beliefs be a deal breaker? Are different political beliefs a deal breaker in relationships? What do you think, Tori?
For me,
Mhm.
it can be because
Why
it's
is that?
about the mindset for me. Because for some reason, uh, the mindset to me plays a part of it for me. Like,
Mhm.
I don't think I could possibly date someone, and this is just me personally speaking for Tori. I cannot date someone that is a Trump supporter. Like their views are so I couldn't do it. I could not do it because I actually, like I said a couple of weeks ago, got in. I'll say a heavy. I want to say argument. I want to say heavy debates with a Trump supporter.
You can say argument if you want to.
It was. I was like, now see, this is why I don't like talking politics. But no, I don't think it should play a role, but it does for me. It's all about the mindset for me. But I know for
Mhm.
sure that I could not date someone that's a Trump supporter. I cannot. I can't do it.
The extremes, like
Yes.
any of
I,
the extremes,
yeah, I
any
can't.
way that you are going into the extreme,
Yeah.
politically, religion,
Yeah.
any type of ideology that you are going to a far extreme,
Yes.
I'm not
Absolutely.
gonna I'm not gonna be able to understand that. I see Isaac in here still.
He said, I'm just messing. I'm listening. And then he also said that the next comment, he said, I could date a Republican, but I couldn't date a MAGA Republican. Am I saying that
Absolutely.
right? MAGA
Yeah,
Republican?
yeah.
Yeah,
Those are the
definitely.
Trump
I'm with you on
supporters.
that. I'm with you on that, Isaac, because I've met some cool Republicans, but the MAGA Republicans, I cannot do it. I
I
can't do it.
don't know what Trump put in the Kool-Aid, okay?
I can't
I
do it.
don't know what he put in that red Kool-Aid that they sipping on,
I
but
can't do it.
I'm just saying they have gone really, really far,
Yeah,
and that is to
yeah,
say very least, the very
yeah,
least. So I was just
yeah,
curious. I wanted to know,
yeah,
like, would you be able to be in a relationship with someone who had different political views from you?
yeah. I could, like I said, as long as they're not a Trump supporter, because their views are so. Ooh, y'all know,
It
y'all know. And then it's like, and then when it comes to, you mentioned also about um the religion as well, because I dated I don't recall I don't recall a particular religion, but y'all know, those that know me personally and those that see me out in passing, y'all know from time to time I'm a natural girl, but from time to time I'll add accessories. I may put a wig on here, there, and that, because I'm being super lazy. But there was one person that I encountered where you can't have you got to be all natural, and not only do you have to be all natural, you have to have your head covered. You can't wear toenail or fingernail polish.
Mhm.
You can't wear jewelry. I mean, it was just so much. You can't wear um didn't want me wearing pants. I had to wear dresses all the time. And then the dresses had come to my ankles.
That's outrageous.
I couldn't wear anything that was form fitting, because y'all know I'm not skinny, so to speak, but I couldn't wear anything that was form fitting. It was just
So
too
you
much. It
just
was like
so
too many rules. I
so
could
let me
not
ask a question.
let me say this. I could not speak if they're talking to me. They had to speak first, and then they would tell me when I could speak. I
So let
was
me
like,
ask a question. Hold on. I'm gonna let you finish this thought, but like, so did you get? Because you just said a lot, and I was
yeah.
listening. I was very patient. I'm like, well, gosh, she get ready to say something else, and then you said something else. She get ready to say something else, and you said something else. So did you get like a list? Like, did you get a written list? How did you know all of these rules? Was there a rule book? Was there some type of guideline? What's going on? How was that communicated to you?
There was a conversation we had because I had on earrings, I had my nails and toes polished, I
But
had
here's what I'm
proper,
saying. That
and we
person
had
was
that
attracted to you in that way.
yeah.
They
Yeah,
approached
that's
you
the
like
point. You was attracted me in that way, but then you're gonna tell me after we started, becoming serious, then you wanna tell me, "Well, you wanna make all these changes." What? I was confused.
girl, no. Okay. Now, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Now, as it relates to just having the different political views, if you're going to date a person, you Isaac said, and we talked about, okay, well, if they're not on the extreme, I could see that, but there's
Mhm.
so many social issues that people tie into their political views now
Mhm.
until you're almost kind of like walking on eggshells when you
Right.
really find out what side of politics people really are on. And
Right.
so, beyond just whether or not they are a Democrat or a Republican, you're going to really have to get into what their social issues are, like what their attitudes might be towards any type of social issue, such as the LGBTQ plus rights, where they stand with immigration, racial justice. All of these things differ, according to they differ within generations, within social economical backgrounds. There's a lot going on. So, when you look at the younger generation out here, they tend to be a little bit more supportive of progressive social issues.
Right.
They're a lot more diverse. So that plays a part in it as well, you know?
Absolutely.
All of
Absolutely.
those things have become a part of politics, and there's certain things that I feel like within that shouldn't necessarily be a part of it, but it is. And that all comes back around to for me to say like and yes, for young people, for people who are marginalized and socially, I'm sorry, and economically challenged, you've got to pay attention to politics because a lot of the things that you want, a lot of the things that are making differences in your life, you've got to make sure that people are in office to make sure that laws aren't being changed.
Right.
You've got to be able to do that. You've got to be able to
Mhm.
communicate that. I want us to continue again. We'll do it on the last Tuesday of the month because this is the last Tuesday of the month. We're going to dedicate our last segment to Politics Tuesdays, and we're going to have people talk about anything that you want to talk about, any questions that you might have. We listen. I'm not saying I have all the answers because I certainly don't, but we can certainly look it up. We can certainly make sure that we get people that you might want to talk to. We want to do that. Uh, let's see, we got Craig in here.
And Craig says politics will play a role. That wouldn't be able to date someone of different political beliefs. Ain't no way.
Mhm. It does play a role, and that's why I will say it does play a role, particularly when it comes to a lot of these social issues, because
Mhm.
that's where it's really going to play a role. What are some of the ways that you feel like it will play a role, Craig? Because we talked about some of the social issues. Um, what do you think? Or what are some of you guys' thoughts? We start talking about politics and a lot of, the comments kind of slowed down. Y'all got a little, we were talking about the relationships and it was pop, pop, pop. And I couldn't, they scrolling before I could get, I'm like, oh, I gotta keep up.
You know, relationships a popular topic, but
They
politics,
are.
I noticed that too. In politics, they're like, "Rrr."
It's like, "What you talking about, Tonya?"
Crickets.
It was like, I'm here. We here for the love." Them eyeball numbers went down. They said, "Alright, that's it." I done heard the part I wanted to hear. Next.
Oh my goodness.
Tune
Yeah.
in next week when they talking about something else.
Relationships. They love relating them. Let me say, you see how them comments was flying when we talk about relate. Oh my goodness. I said,
Yeah.
dang, where everybody went.
We could hardly keep up with the comments. I mean, because I skipped a few, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But we could hardly keep up. But again, just like we talked about last week, and we really did have a good conversation, it really is important.
Mhm.
And the reason why I am dedicating myself to the conversation, and we talked about it,
Mhm.
this is an incredibly important, I should say, political season.
It is.
So much is on the line. I want you guys to pay attention to it. I want you to know, I want you to use your voice. I want you to know how important it is because people are expecting us not to show up. They're
Mhm.
counting on us not to show up. And I'm
Mhm.
not going to be a part of that. I want to be a part of putting my voice out there. I want to be a part of influencing people to use their voice because we can do better. We can do better. Don't believe the hype of the extremes. We can't. We cannot. Pay attention to everything that is going on around you. And what we talked about last week is people knowing what they want. And see, I think a lot of the times people really don't know where to go with political conversations is because people are more reactive. You know, they'll react to something happening before they, you know, will know, well, this is what I want from a leader. This is what I want from a politician. They're more reactive. They wait until something happened. They wait till it shows up on the internet, and then they have a comment about it. And then there's a whole thread of comments, and there's a whole thread of back and forth. And a lot of the times, there's more comments and there's more back and forth than there were people who showed up at the polls. So where is this interest coming from all of a sudden? That's where I'm at. I want you to use your voice before you're reactive to something that you don't like happening. You dig what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yes. And Amina says that's exactly it. Everything that you just said, that's exactly it.
Mhm.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Telling you. Telling you. It's I'm just like where everybody went.
Listen,
Wow.
that's
Mm.
that's the change that we're gonna make.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes, like we said, there are people who are well, clearly we see that there are people who are here and are listening. But the whole idea is people don't know how to have the conversation. So the people who are brave enough to have the
Mhm.
conversation, that's good. Sometimes, just like how we get excuse me, we get the messages, we get the DMs or topics that people wanna talk about. I'll have to do that a lot more because I realize that some people wanna have a little privacy. They want to be, what's the word I'm looking for, Tori?
Anonymous?
Anonymous. I had a little brain fart just now. People tend to be a little bolder with their questions when they
Yeah.
have that availability to be anonymous. And you know that, like, a lot of the times how we do the cigars, cocktails, and conversation, where
Yes.
people put their questions into the cigar box. The reason why we're able to have some of those conversations and I mean, the conversations get bold, the conversations get spicy. Some people might not be able to handle the conversations that are in there. But I tell you what I like and what I appreciate about it is because we have people in there who are wanting to have conversations. And the reason why some of those subject matters are just so bold is because people have that ability to be anonymous. So it's not like they're asking that question. I pulled that question or that subject matter out of the box, and then we have the conversation. You've got
Right.
the panel is going to give their opinions, which is a great thing because we have an opportunity for people to hear what other people are thinking about a particular subject matter that you may be questioning. And it's
Right.
important for us to know what people are thinking. And
Right.
that could be on any topic. I want us to dedicate some of that for politics. That is important. Everything that we're doing right now, the freedoms that we have right now for our speech. Listen, you could lose that. We could lose that freedom that we have to vote. We could lose that. You've got to think about that. We've been watching DEI. We're losing certain parts of that. Affirmative action, women's reproductive rights, reproductive health. We're losing this, you know? So you've
Right.
got to ask yourself, why am I afraid to have these conversations? Why am I waiting to be reactive to something that is being stripped away when I could have used my voice at the ballot? When we
Right.
could have been having these conversations, when we could have been in rooms having these conversations. So I'm encouraging all of you to do that. You don't have to do it online. I know that that can be difficult. I certainly expect that. There are people who work in certain places. There's certain things that they cannot or would not like to have on a public display. I respect that because just like your vote is private, you can say who you're voting for all you want. You can do that, but your vote still remains private. That is an individual thing. You go to that ballot by yourself. There are petitions between the booths for a reason because that is your right and you have privacy for that. So there's no problem. I get it. I get it. That's why I said I do appreciate the special messages, the DMs, the texts, so that will offer you that little bit of so people don't know. You can be anonymous. But you still need to have the conversation. Have those conversations at your kitchen table. Have those conversations at your friend and family gatherings. Look at what's
Right.
going on around you. It's important, guys. It's important. So I don't mind if it might make certain people feel a certain way. I want you to feel that way. But what I really want you to know is, and what I want you to feel is the importance of paying attention to this political season. I am absolutely not here, and I will not be here to tell you who you should vote for. That's not the point. Look out here in this landscape. You can see what you closely are related to. You can
Right.
see the people who have some type of values that are closer related to some of the values that you feel like you need to have, some of the policies that you feel like are important. I know it's disappointing when you say, "Hey, they make all of these promises and they don't do anything." Listen, you've got candidates out here who are telling you things that they're gonna do that you know are not in your best interest. So you gotta think
Right.
about that too.
Right.
Think about
There's
that.
there's a couple of comments, one from Amina and then Reggie.
Let me get in the comments, cause girl, I wasn't even in the comments. Alright, here we go.
Amina says people are more reactive versus proactive because being proactive takes intentional work in the beginning. Being reactive is easy and a victim mentality often.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And then Reggie says, I really dislike the division in politics as a whole. Chris Rock said it as well as it could have been said. Many of these things we are conservative about, and there are many things we are liberal about. Most go to war over one topic of what Tanya said earlier, how they are raised or have limited perspectives on subject matters. Prejudices and genocide matter internationally. It's a touchy matter. Mm,
You're right. It's
yeah.
such a touchy matter. People are walking around on eggshells. There are conversations
Mhm.
that people are not having for the exact reason that Reggie has expressed. People's jobs are on the line, which should not be, because if we're going to talk about our First Amendment right, so you've got to
Right.
pay attention. You've got to be a part of the solution, and by doing that, what I mean by that, you've got to be a part of putting people in position who look to save democracy, who are looking to save some of those same rights that you have now. You get to do that by putting
Mhm.
someone in who is going to recommend good judges.
Right,
Like,
right,
I don't know how and I don't know when, but just kind of like right before our eyes, it seems like the judges in our Supreme Courts have become political. They've become partisan, I should say. Partisan
right.
is really what I mean.
Mhm.
And how can you be a judge? How are you going to be a judge, a Supreme Court judge, and be partisan? It's
Mhm.
just not right for the people. We
Mm.
cannot continue to do this. So we've got to put people in places, and that is nationally as well as locally. Your states. You need to know who's being put in judgeships in your actual state, in and around, even your magistrates. You get to do that. So you can't just think about voting for this one person and saying they're making these promises and I don't, but you gotta believe, you gotta see a bigger picture. You must. You must. And also, we reached our hour already, but I do want to say this. So many people are turned away with politics and frustrated with politics because they don't want you to vote. We've got felons out here who feel like they don't have their right to vote. You need to know what your rights are. Don't believe that. You've got a candidate out here who's got 34 felonies. Okay. And you're getting misinformation. If you served your time and you've done all of the things that you have to do, you have that right to vote. Don't believe the misinformation. There's a lot of information out here. This is an important season. We got to get the information. We've got to share the information. We got to make sure that we're putting people in position to make sure that our lives are truly going to be better. Better. All right?
Right. And can we show Amina's last comment? She said, if we can talk about politicians, we can do a little more to learn about and efficiently discuss policies. Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah. All right, y'all. We asked the questions. We started this and our question was, I thought it was a pretty simple question. What are the options? Love and politics. Two polar, almost seems like it could be polar opposite.
Yeah. And Isaac made a comment earlier. He said, actually, he feels as though it's one and the same.
And he has a point as well. He
Yeah.
does. He has a point as well. All
And
right, y'all.
and of course, he would feel that way with him being in the politics.
Of course. I mean, politicians need love too.
They do. Oh my goodness, this hour went by fast, but
It
I
did.
want to tell you guys it's always a pleasure to have you guys in. You guys make the conversation flow as always. I know I look forward to it. We definitely look forward to it. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe to Keep the Faith with Tori on YouTube and Miss Tanya TV on YouTube. IG, TikTok, and of course you can make those Cash App donations to Miss Tanya, $ Miss Tanya TV. And make sure you show us some love on YouTube. Make sure if you're not already subscribed, sure you subscribe to both channels, okay? Because y'all show us so much love on Facebook. We need some love on YouTube too. So thank you so much for always showing up and being about it. I love Tuesdays. I look forward to Tuesdays. So
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
that
yeah,
being
yeah.
said, and you guys can also continue as well to message. And Amina says, great conversation. Thank you so much for always tuning in. We also like you reach out to Tanya or myself when there are particular topics that you guys would like to talk about, whatever the
Oh,
topic
they
is.
stay in my inbox.
Really, I don't. Well, they must be. Well, I would prefer them to inbox you because listen, I ain't good. Let me tell y'all something. I ain't good at checking Messenger anyway. Matter of fact, I got my notifications off. Got people mad at me now. Like I messaged you weeks ago. Don't if you got and here's the thing. I'm gonna say this. Let me get and then I get off my soapbox. If you got my cell number, why you gonna inbox me on Facebook? I don't even check
Child.
Messenger like that. But
I'm
if
a
you got
little
my
old school
personal,
too.
but if you got my number, why are you messaging me? And then you like, well, Tori, I message you. I ain't got it. You see that
Girl,
country I got right? I ain't got it.
I ain't got speaking of which, we were gonna have the cigars.
Conversation, yes, cigars, cocktails, and conversation yesterday, and it was postponed to what, July the 8th?
Right. To
Yes.
July 8th. But here's what I want to say.
Okay.
So, we have a group text.
Okay.
And so it was postponed. But child, I did not even know until like a little bit before, like maybe a couple hours before. I was about to take a nap and I got a message from a friend asking me about the event. And I was like, yeah. And then I went to go online to get the flyer to send to her. Girl, I hadn't checked I hadn't checked my messages. I was like, ooh, 'cause I'm a little bit old school, so I'm kinda like you, like, if you really know me, you better send me a text if you want me to immediately respond to that, that's gonna be the quickest response, but
Yeah.
I hadn't checked Messenger all day, like, I had a really, really busy day, and I hadn't checked Messenger, and I just told myself, I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna go to this event later, let me just take a little quick nap, 'cause, a sister be a little tired."
Yeah.
And so I was gonna take a nap, and I just if I hadn't gotten the, message from one of my girlfriends, girl, I woulda took my nap, got up, got ready, and went on down there because I probably wouldn't have checked I wouldn't have checked Messenger. I
Yeah.
wouldn't because I'd already had my day planned. I knew what I was gonna do, so
Yeah.
sometimes I'm not as good with that as well. But anyway,
Yeah.
thank
Yeah.
y'all for
But
listening.
but 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 she's better at it than me. So continue to send those the subjects to her because I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not gonna see it. So yeah, continue to send them to her.
We
With that
gon
being huh?
I said, "We gon' get to it." Y'all know that.
Yeah, but with that being said, it has been a pleasure as always. I enjoy having these conversations. Because sometimes me and Tanya, we have this certain conversation. We're totally on opposite ends of the spectrum, but I love it. That what makes the conversation even better when we have opposite views on things. But you guys continue to show up and show out in the comments and continue to show us love. And with that being said, enjoy the remainder of your day and have a blessed remainder of your week. And until next Tuesday, I'm out. Peace.
Alright, alright, alright. Y'all heard it. She already said it. So you know what we gotta do? We gonna go ahead and get on out here. I want y'all to go ahead and get back on the clock if you got your what do you call them? AirPods or headphones, you got those in. Alright. Well, I'm glad that you did that. Make sure that you do hit that like button, hit that subscribe, let people know that we having conversations and that you enjoy them. The only thing I got left for us to do is breathe this thing out. I had a good time with you. I want to see you here next Tuesday, and we'll do this whole thing again. Let's do some breath work. Inhale to the count of 4. Hold that a few seconds. Exhale. Hold that a few seconds. Inhale again. Hold a few seconds. Exhale. And hold that a few seconds. Inhale one more time. Hold a few seconds. And exhale. Yeah. And don't you feel great? I feel great. I appreciate you guys. And if nobody gave you a smile today, if nobody smiled today, you just close your eyes and give yourself a big smile and see how that feels for you. All right? Y'all be great out here. That's what we do. One love, y'all.